Hi, my name is Colin SkipperWing Bird, and welcome to a special subset of SkipperWing Draws a Thing, process videos for the Crimson Fly animated comic strip. Today's strip, issue 4, number 43. Am I really helping? That's not really a question I'm asking myself. That's a question the Crimson Fly is asking himself. Because, as you might have noticed if you've been following this series over the course of the first 3 stories, he's been sort of bittersweetly effectual. That's not actually a word, but I'm making it up anyway. He's helped people, but at the same time, it's not the sort of help that anybody really wanted. So, naturally, these sort of kind of failures are going to take a toll on you eventually. Especially after the ending of the last issue where he ended up beating up the person he was trying to help. Yeah, probably not a great career choice there. But the thing is about issue 4 is that while the opening ties very heavily to the first 3 stories, I didn't want to be directly referencing them because, as I forget who said it, every comic is somebody's first, and I don't want the Crimson Fly to be so bogged down in continuity, or rather required continuity, that it's hard to get into. So the first one, this first strip sort of references the other ones without directly acknowledging that they happened. Also, I know it's kind of hard to notice from my drawings, but he's not wearing his mask right now. Whoa! So what does he look like? You'll have to wait to find out. But yeah, I thought it would be a great thematic thing that he's not on top of his game because he's not wearing his mask right now. For one thing, wearing masks, it gets kind of smelly and grody if you wear them for too long. But really, this time it was for a thematic thing. That's not really a great way to say it. So yeah, also what's great about this first strip is that there's a lot of cheats that I use. Cheats in perspective, cheats in composition, but I think they all work relatively well. The hardest thing I think I'm going to go get into is fire. Again, as that's probably going to be a reoccurring thing, fire is hard to draw because it has to be an organized chaos. But yeah, let's see how I do on this one. But I'm going to skip ahead to where I am currently in the illustration, animating the text. The text didn't have to be animated, but I wanted that little effect to remind you that 1, it's an animated comic, and 2, what the emotions you're supposed to feel are. So the you ruined my life, that one was an easy one to do because the shaking sort of conveys the anger. The harder one was the what were you trying to do? I wanted that to be sort of ghosty and wavy, but the text is already hard enough to read, and doing that wavy effect would have made it even harder to read, so I decided to just go with the fade in and fade out. Kind of cheap, but at the same time, it makes it more legible, and I don't want my one element to get in the way of the other element, so it was easier to just have the fade in, fade out. As for the fire, oh god, fire is so hard to animate. And again, if drawing it is hard enough, animating it is harder because, it has to be chaotic, but it can't be so chaotic that it's not recognizable as fire. It has to still follow the same sort of wavy pattern, but not so wavy that it's boring. It still has to be sort of chaotic. So one of the tutorials that I found online, yes, I use tutorials, it suggested using rising balls that sort of expand and then contract as they dissipate. And I decided to use that as a sort of random pattern to get my fire going. I think that worked. I will probably be using that a lot in the future. Probably because, again, this issue is called The Fire. There's going to be a lot of fire. It's going to suck for me. But it's going to suck in service of a good story that I hope you guys will really, really enjoy. But on the flip side, at least the programming was a lot simpler. Mostly because this is a very straightforward strip, the fire aside. So yeah, issue 4 begins in earnest. Hope you guys enjoy the ride. And that's it for today's video. If you want to see this strip in its true format, please click the links in the annotations and cards. If you're new, please like and subscribe for more content. This is Colin SkipperWing Bird signing out. I'll catch you peeps later.